Warning, explicit content. Blood, guts, swearing, lots of bad words, adult themes. No nudity, though. Lots of violence. Did I say violence? Viewer's discretion is advised. Welcome back, and I hope you guys are ready for another exciting episode of Pathfinders Wrath of the Righteous. Of course, we're going to be screaming, yelling at the dice roller, and just generally being like, "Argh!" But, you know, it's all in good fun. So let's enjoy the story. Let's kill some monsters, do some dungeons, and see what comes next. So let's go and hop into it. We're boys. You gonna get it.
This is my time to shine. Your time is over. How cute!
That aura dropping, coming and going is getting annoying. Unfortunately, I won't have my fairy dragon much longer.
There's something over there. Easy. So exciting.
It is exciting. Okay.
I am your end.
Yes, we are their end.
Easy.
It's Howl. When the fuck did she die?
So exciting. They choose to stand against me.
Really should stop fucking meleeing mage.
Easy. With grace. challenge at all.
Okay, let's talk to Hal. Fight the Baylor.
The world is full of wonder.
This will be quick.
Okay, don't go into the fort yet. So I can go talk, see if I can talk to Hal. Alright, let's head back to the temple. Back to the temple. Come on. Jesus. You guys are so slow. Let's see if we can talk to Hal here.
How cute!
There's a Nevia, but none of the others. So he's not here, but he's not in the prison. That's kind of annoying. Because it's going to tell me I failed, probably, to give him the book. Even though I have it. And where is he? That's a crusader. I don't know, this game has a lot of bugged quests. Why are you running in circles, you dummies? Jesus. Like fatigued or something? Jesus. You're so slow.
Easy.
The storyteller turns to you calmly. Long months have passed, Commander, but even while you were away on the other plane, I could hear your brave heart beating. That sound never stopped for a second. Finian laughs. You're a lively one, Grandpa Elf, always finding yourself in the most dangerous spots, but I'm still glad to see you, although you'd be safer tucked up by a fire somewhere. Do you know where the Queen went? It wasn't easy. I see the Queen's future and her past as if looking through shattered glass. Multiple visions come one after another, distorting the picture. The Queen is in mortal danger at the crossroads of her fate, and her every step may prove fatal. But I did not give up, and fortune smiled upon me. I touched her goblet and learned where she was leading her army. Her Majesty decided to march for Is, a bold move, one worthy of a queen who's not accustomed to hiding. The place sounds familiar. Can remind me of the details? Oh, Is? The city that hangs over the abyss. It once was a city of legendary rulers, the capital of Socorus, but now demons are tearing it apart, making it a mockery of its former glory. 2/3 of its magnificent streets and proud towers have collapsed into the world wound. But the city still holds on, just as Socorus holds on, defeated but refusing to die. To arms, time for the final battle for Dresden. The storyteller nods. Yes, your arrival has changed everything. Attacked by 2 armies, we felt like a dilapidated palisade on the verge of being swept away by a giant wave. But with your return, we have become an indestructible wall that will withstand any blow. There's one more thing. The storyteller pauses for a while. In the shattered fragments that form her fate, I can sense your presence, and I'm convinced that the Queen could sense it too. No one can say what your next encounter will lead to, but there's one thing I know for certain. Queen Galfrey's fate and yours are tightly intertwined. Alright, we got the epic music going on. Oh no, there's too many of them! This is useless, we're done for! Don't fall back, hold the line! A huge, oily Nalfshni is waiting for you with his arms folded. Here comes the commander, kids. Ha 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 ha! So, commander, do you like what you see? You've arrived just in time to hear your friends screaming for help. They trusted you, and look what's happened to them. Do you actually think you can rescue them? Ha! Who do you think you are? You shouldn't have angered our master, mortal. He will take away everything you have, your mind and your flesh included. You belong to him now. Fighters of Dresden, don't give up. Do you really believe they can hear you? All your pathetic attempts to win turn to ashes, don't you see? And this great heroine everyone is so afraid of? Come on, show us what you've got. Earn the right to become my plaything, or die alone and forgotten in an unmarked cell. Legend Mythic Path. What are you waiting for, eh? Can't you hear them screaming? Why aren't you rushing to help them? Ah, right, you can't. You're just a mortal insect that bit off more than it can chew. You're nobody. Yes, I am immortal. I'm the commander of the 5th Crusade. This is my city, my people, and my destiny. The demon seems to want to say something else, but then just his huge claw. Whatever. Let's see how you taste, Commander. Yeah. What? That's... No. That's Iomade herself. An incredible silence suddenly descends over the city. It is broken by the solemn sound of fanfares that seem to come from far away, everywhere and nowhere all at once. All eyes are turned to the huge stained glass window of the city's main cathedral. It begins to glow with a soft light, and in the next breath, a lone figure steps out of the glass and onto the cobblestones of Dresden.
Knight Commander, at last we meet.
Wow. I greet you, Light of the Sword.
And I greet you, Knight Commander. I suppose you're asking yourself why I am here. Gods must not interfere directly in the affairs of mortals. But what is happening here, in the World Wound, is no longer the concern of mortals alone. Goodness and the light of hope are not unknown to you, but you mix them with recklessness. And the power that feeds this recklessness is dangerous. I have seen what happened here in Dresden. Despite everything that you have endured, despite the changes you underwent in the Abyss, you relied on your humanity, and you won without losing it. I salute you. I wish to stop the forces of evil and defend Golarion, both from Daskari's violent rage and from Nocticula's insidiousness. But that is not my only goal. I have come here to restore justice, for justice is the birthright of all. That's why I hail you as a heroine who has triumphed over the demons many times. At the same time, I grieve for you, as for a soul that is caught in a web of demonic deceit and villainy.
You're right, but what can I do about it?
I have come to help you. In that moment, when my poor Herald was being torn apart by monsters, he found the strength to send me a message about what he had learned in the Abyss. You were in Elutionera, where you spoke with the Lady in Shadow and the Architect of the World Wound. They confessed what they had done to you, but they did not reveal the whole truth. Both you and this unfortunate world will have to pay dearly for the power that they so generously bestowed upon you. But all is not yet lost. That is why I have come.
The walls of Dresden shake again, and with a ringing laugh, a black shadow appears before the shining goddess, Nocticula in the flesh. Standing beside her is Aurilu Vorlesh, who stares at the goddess with ice-cold rage in her eyes.
Who here has been taking my name in vain? Ah, it's you, the Inheritor. What's this? Our worst fears have come to pass. The gods are flocking to Golarion. This merry little tinderbox could ignite at any moment, reducing the material plane to dust.
I did not come here to fight.
Oh, really? I didn't realize you were good for anything else. Forgive me, that was unfair of me. Judging by your successes over the last 100 years, fighting is not your forte. After all, the wound is still there, as far as I know. So why are you here? If you have come to meddle in my affairs, don't expect me simply to stand aside.
This party's really getting started now. Who's the next to arrive? Caden Kalian, perhaps?
The two of us will be more than enough. Listen to what I have to tell you. If she wishes to be present for this conversation, so much the better. Do you hear me, Nocticula? You and your servant are under no obligation to leave. I have come here to shed the light of truth. Let us see if you both can withstand its merciless radiance. I cannot change the flow of mortal history by force. After all, the World Wound is their doing, although committed at the behest of the Abyss. But sometimes force is unnecessary, and truthful words are all it takes.
The goddess who was mortal not so long ago is eager to judge us for our sins now. My sin, to be precise. What lies behind your eagerness, proud Iomade? Righteous wrath? Or perhaps fear? Watch out. A simple mortal woman has learned how to grant powers to others. Powers which are beyond the wildest dreams of many Imperial lords. This must be stopped, forbidden, taken away immediately. After all, what need will we have for all these arrogant gods once we become their equals?
Silence.
Hmm.
It is impolite to interrupt your elders. But you know, Inheritor, She does have a point. What are you going to do now? Break my weapon, which has made so many victories possible, and only because she received that weapon from my profane hands, and the entire affair must therefore be profane also? What real reasons do you have? Save those born of your envy, your capriciousness, and your suspicions?
My reasons are quite real, as you well know. That is why you appeared here in such haste, is it not? You have woven a delicate lace of half-truths, Nocticula. From you and your servant, the Knight Commander has learned that she is bound to the World Wound, that she is slowly dying because of its influence, and that she is yet capable of closing it. But you withheld a crucial piece of information. You never told her that closing the wound won't save her from death. For this lock will destroy the key to which it is bound. The one who closes the world wound will die along with it.
That is true. I tried to tell you back in Illusionera, but I was not allowed to. It is an unavoidable consequence of this process. To stitch two planes together as I have stitched Galarian and the Abyss, the soul of a mortal must be woven with the essence of the Abyss. To undo this seam, the original soul, the key, must be ripped apart. No one could survive such a process.
Goddess, can you help me cleanse my soul of the influence of the Abyss?
Aurilu has planted a piece of the Abyss itself in your soul. The only thing that can cleanse the soul of such a taint is that same soul. But I will be near. I will show you how to root out the demonic corruption. I am not a demon, and I do not offer any simple solutions. You will have to go your own way, no matter where it leads.
What if I reject this power?
You will live.
You will lose everything that makes life worth living.
You will spoil a brilliant endeavor and destroy the lives of thousands of mortals who will be devoured by the legions of demons coming from the Abyss. Aside from that, you won't do anything extraordinary at all.
Well, now I'm finally starting to understand the rules of this game.
Yes. The power that Nahindrian crystals grant you will bring about nothing but your own demise. The branches of the Tree of Sin are vast and verdant, but its only fruit is death. You will not be able to save yourself unless you reject everything that has been foisted upon you. Now you know everything.
No, we're not quite finished with the revelations yet. Few secrets remain to be revealed, but they will be worth the wait. Does this look familiar? Do you remember the similar wound above your own heart? I have given you enough hints. Come on, ask me the question I have been waiting for.
Your wound. Aurilu's wound, without a doubt, is of magical origin, and it's eerily similar to the one that nearly killed you back in Canabras. History tells us a lot of curious things about the World Wound's creation. After it was first opened, the wound stayed unchanged for quite a long time. Only 30 years later, it grew substantially, larger and mightier. Instantly, and just once, practically overnight, all signs indicate that this second growth was provoked by a process similar to one that led to the wound's initial emergence. I received my wound because you, Aurilu, implanted the essence of the Abyss in my soul when you expanded the World Wound. My question is, why do you have a similar wound? Could it be because you used your own soul as a key when you first opened the World Wound?
Good question. Just imagine. I have wasted so much time chasing the key to the World Wound, and the key was right under my nose this whole time. Aurilu, my love, come over here.
Aurilu does not look like someone who's been cornered. Without a trace of fear, she gives you a faint nod and then makes a barely discernible gesture with her hand and disappears as if she was never here.
Wait, I said wait! That little bitch. I knew she would betray me sooner or later, but I never expected such an idiotic stunt. But everything seems to be falling into place quite nicely. You see, you don't have to die after all. Arilu opened the world wound, and Arilu will be the one who closes it, whether she likes it or not. Although, someone will need to catch her first, and this will require certain powers.
Yes, Arilu Vorlesh will pay for her crimes with her life. Her flight confirms that our suppositions were correct. But now we know that the world wound can be sealed with her blood. You have no reasons to remain indebted to the Abyss and indulge the Queen of the Succubi. Reject her gift, and secure your victory while being the person you were before Arilu Vorlesh corrupted you. Win as a mortal, and become a legend among mortals.
She's talking rubbish. True, we gave you the power, but it was you who chose how to wield it. It belongs to you, and it will remain yours, so you can do whatever you want with it. But first, you must use it to close the world wound. You aren't going to catch this world's most powerful witch, and a half-demon one at that, with your bare hands, are you?
Before I make my decision, I want to ask Iomade some questions.
Ask, and you shall have your answers.
You gained your own power from the Starstone. How is my power any different?
My ascension was not accomplished in one day, and even the test of the Starstone was only one of its stages. I did not merely gain power. I embraced a sacred duty. Your power, on the other hand, stems not from long hours of study, not from trials. It is not the natural talent you were born with and carefully honed throughout your life. It is the result of an evil soul's deranged experiment with the blood of dead abyssal lords.
I mean, I did go through some trials, so I don't know. You imprisoned an entire host of angels inside the ward stones. Why did you do that to them?
Every one of my angels volunteered for that mission. They all knew what kind of watch they were going to keep. They knew that it would be a hard and exhausting battle, but that the lives of mortals throughout Golarion would depend on it. Alas, angels' minds can be as fragile as the minds of mortals. In less than 100 years, many wavered, and wished to break the oath they had sworn. I do not blame them. I blame myself for allowing them to take on a burden that was too heavy for them.
Did you send your herald to follow me to the Abyss, or did he go of his own free will?
He acted on his own noble impulse, and I did not stop him. I also did not try to dispel his misconception about you being my chosen one. I do not lie, but both celestial beings and mortals can be mistaken.
She doesn't lie, sure. She merely withholds some of the truth. For the noblest of reasons, of course.
Do you know what happened to your herald?
My herald, my loyal companion, was captured, and now demons are using him to attack Dresden. They're holding him in the Ivory Labyrinth, Baphomet's realm of the Abyss. It is a place I cannot go, not even to save my faithful friend. For doing so would start an interplanar war. Right now, as we speak, Baphomet's servants are torturing the hand of the Inheritor. Tormented and anguished, he reaches for you with his thoughts and his soul. I cannot tell if he sees you as a great unfulfilled hope or a last chance. But Baphomet knows well how to exploit such desperate yearning. He has turned my herald into a source of power to open temporary portals. They do not last long, but they lead from the dungeon where the hand of the Inheritor suffers, right to your doorstep. Baphomet does not need to lead his armies through the rifts. Now he can send them right here. As long as my poor herald remains in the hands of that monster, this will not stop. I cannot say if it is still possible to save him, or if putting him out of his misery is the only way. I cannot openly ask you to intervene. But if you decide to do so, you will be helping both yourself and the one who chose the martyr's path when he followed you into the Abyss.
Ever since I acquired these powers, everyone has believed me to be Iomede's chosen. Why didn't you do anything to dispel these misunderstandings?
At first, I did not know who you were, or where your powers originated. This was revealed to me only when my herald offered up his dying prayer from the depths of the abyss. And following his desperate plea, I sought to confirm my suspicions. Until that point, I had observed you without intervening. After all, your crusade was securing victories, the first Golarion had seen in many years. So even if it was not I who had sent you into battle, it felt unfair to undermine you.
In other words, our Imperial guest had no problem with your power, as long as she didn't know where it came from. She didn't even share her suspicions with her own herald. And after all that, someone dares to claim that demons are the most deceitful creatures?
You should not blame someone else if you base your accusations on vague suspicions rather than solid proof. You call my behavior deceitful. You, of all creatures, who kept the commander ignorant of the fate you had chosen for her? Indeed, the insolence of demons knows no bounds.
Why have you decided to descend to the world of mortals at this particular moment? I would ask her this one, but she's already touched. She can't actually, like, destroy Nauticula without starting an interplanar war.
As I have already said, I am here to open your eyes to Nocticula's lies and to prevent more calamities in the future. You are at a crossroads now. I will not force you to do anything, but you needed to learn the truth and have the chance to cleanse yourself.
Why did Aurelu do everything possible to lead us to the idea that she was a key too?
The impulses that drive a soul as black as hers are beyond my comprehension. Perhaps she was startled by my arrival and decided not to bother keeping a secret that was bound to be revealed. Or perhaps she is up to some cunning scheme. Be on your guard. The architect of the world wound will surely try to bring you down. For if she truly is a key, then it must mean that she will die sooner or later due to the influence of her own horrible creation. And that means that sacrificing you is her only chance of survival.
Explain to me again, how exactly can you help me cleanse myself of the influence of the Abyss?
Aurelu has planted a piece of the Abyss itself in your soul. The only thing that can cleanse the soul of such a taint is that same soul. But I will be near. I will show you how to root out the demonic corruption.
I have
I
no
am
more
not a
questions.
demon, and I do not offer any. It is time to make your decision then.
Nocticula, I have some questions
If
for
you
you.
have questions, ask away.
Why did you try and hide the fact that closing the world wound would kill me?
Because if I'd told you the truth, you would have refused to do it. But you're not angry with me, are you? After all, everything has worked out perfectly fine. We found another key. So now you can live and enjoy your life. Provided that you catch Aurelu, of course.
Now that we've decided to use Aurelu to close the world wound, do you still want me to keep my powers I acquired from her?
Of course I do. Firstly, you'll need those powers to catch Aurelu and bring her to Threshold. Surely you don't think she'll willingly fall into your hands, and the demonic hordes will politely make way for you. And secondly, the powers Aurelu gave you protect you from dying before your time. None of us want the wound to kill you prematurely. You are extremely useful to me alive. After all, if you let Aurelu slip through your fingers, we can always go back to the original plan for closing the wound.
Aurelu deliberately led us to the idea that she was a key too. Why?
Apparently, she understood that her secret was about to be revealed anyway, so she decided to leave in style. What human female over 100 years old wouldn't feel flattered at being the center of attention? Although she could have other reasons. She obviously wanted us to understand everything and immediately rush off in pursuit of her. She's probably been preparing for a war of all against all for a long time. And now she wants to wage it on her own terms. Expect treachery and traps wherever you go.
Where could have Aurelu fled to?
Oh, let's think. She's hidden in the abyss before. She won't dare to return there now. Not only to my realm, but to any other either. Even if Baphomet and Discari both take it upon themselves to guard Aurilu personally, that won't stop me from sneaking in, slitting her throat, and leaving undetected. And she knows that. If I were her, I would hide in a place where the powers of her enemies were uncertain, and her own power was close to unlimited. I say you should look for her here, in the World Wound.
I have no more
Very well.
questions.
It's
I've
I
made
am
my
waiting
decision.
For your answer.
quite right. Make your choice, and make it the right one.
And just like that, the episode for today is over. The narrator's a little tired. You gotta give him some props for, going at it. But thank you for hanging out and watching Pathfinders Wrath of the Righteous. Hopefully you guys had fun. So if you did, do the thing. Like, comment, subscribe, share it. The link for the previous episodes and next episodes should be in the descriptions, unless they are not out yet. If you want them early, you could always beg for them in the comments, maybe. Tell me your favorite part of each episode. Let me know you guys are enjoying it. And with that, I will let you guys get back to your day, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for hanging out.